Hi everyone, this is Josh, and today we're going to be talking about The Creator. The Creator was written by Chris Weitz and Gareth Edwards, who also directs this film. It takes place in a dystopian future war between the human race and artificial intelligence. As the war rages on, ex-Special Forces agent Josh is recruited to hunt down and kill the Creator, the elusive architect of an advanced AI that has the power to end the war and all of mankind. Josh soon discovers that the world-ending weapon is an AI in the form of a young child. I've actually seen every film that Gareth Edwards has directed, and it's very clear looking at his body of work that he's always been pretty excellent when it comes to world building and making big destructive set pieces. A talent that has led to him getting hired to direct films like Rogue One or Godzilla 2014, both of which feature some really impressive spectacle. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of other good things to say about those films otherwise. I found them to be paint by numbers for the genres that they fit into, but really the big criticism of both is that they were really lacking in the human drama department. Something that Gareth Edwards did a much better job of with his first film, Monsters. It's not amazing or like a tearjerker or anything like that, but I remember that film doing enough to get me at least semi-invested in the main characters. I also love the guerrilla filmmaking style, where they were clearly working with a limited crew and resources and ended up making something that looked way more expensive than it actually was. I was excited to watch The Creator because one, it's an original sci-fi story, which barely ever happens nowadays, and two, it looked like Gareth Edwards might channel some of those early Monsters guerrilla filmmaking roots, with the film being solely shot on the Sony FX3. For all the people who aren't camera nerds, the FX3 is pretty much the same exact camera I'm filming this review with right now, and the idea of shooting an $80 million sci-fi epic on a prosumer camera like this that costs a little under $4,000 and not a more appropriate cinema camera like an Alexa LF or a Red Raptor, it's not crazy, but it is definitely abnormal. Based on what I've read and what I've seen in the behind the scenes footage, he made this choice because the camera can shoot in low light situations really effectively, allowing them to not have to lug around a ton of heavy lights all the time to get a good exposure. To get a little bit more specific and a little bit nerdier, this camera has the ability to shoot at a very high ISO of 12,800 and get a very clean looking image, as opposed to most other cinema cameras whose native ISOs are usually like around like 640 to like 800 ISO. Edwards has also suggested that the workflow of the camera kind of lends itself to a smaller crew, allowing them to save money and not hire as many people, not paying for as many people to travel. I've seen comments online of people arguing that this is just a promotional ploy with NDAs involved, but even if that was true, who f***ing cares, man? I was so impressed with how the film looks. I don't really give a shit if there was a handshake with Sony or whoever or not. The cinematography by Oren Safra and Greg Fraser, who was involved in pre-production, is like exceptional for 95% of the film, and it's one of the best looking films I've seen of the year so far. There were only a few shots at the beginning that I thought looked a little too dark, which I don't think had anything to do with the camera. I think it was more of just an artistic choice that I just didn't totally vibe with. The Creator is an amazing looking film with great production design, great locations, great costumes, great makeup, a really great score by Hans Zimmer that adds a lot of emotion. It's so refreshing to see a filmmaker use real sets and not just film everything in front of a green screen. I don't think the film could have done a better job when it comes to how it presents itself. But in terms of an actual story and concept, my thoughts are kind of mixed. There's been plenty of films about sentient AI, and I wouldn't say The Creator is breaking any new ground in regards to that genre. The film lightly touches on the idea of how humans justify their treatment of other sentient beings. We hear characters say more than once that they're not real, they're just programming, and that seems to be the extent of the film's thoughts on how humans treat the idea of sentience. If I had to describe The Creator in one sentence, it would probably be Rogue One with a little more heart and soul. This film takes a lot of ideas from different Star Wars properties, whether it's the super weapon that's destroying a rebel force and needs to be dealt with. There's the mercenary slash special forces type of guy who goes on a redemption arc and decides to be the caretaker of this young child with special abilities. There's a strong anti-colonialism message with parallels to the Vietnam War and how super genocidal Western forces have been in the past. A message that I do appreciate, even though I found it to be a little surface level and not doing enough to separate itself from other sci-fi films like Avatar. I was kind of annoyed by a few decisions that were made by several characters. Without getting into too much detail, there's one point in the film where so much bullshit could have been avoided had one character disclose something to the protagonist way earlier about the death of a loved one. I think what keeps the film from drifting into mediocrity are the solid performances from the cast. I think John David Washington did a good job, Allison Janney was good, like Gemma even though she wasn't around that much. I even think the child actor did fairly well for what they had to work with. I do wish the film could have spent more time on its characters and concepts and less on battle sequences, which take up a good portion of the runtime. Overall, I had a pretty good time watching this film. It's not something I'm gonna feel the need to watch twice necessarily, but if you're looking for a competent sci-fi film or a competent film in general with epic battle scenes and a world that you can really absorb yourself in, I think The Creator is not a bad choice. I'm gonna give The Creator a 3 out of 5. It's a light 3, but it's still a 3 nonetheless. Thanks for watching this review, guys. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you thought about The Creator in the comment section below. Let me know if there is a film or TV show that I should watch next while you are down there. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you can know when I drop the next video. Very much appreciated. Thank you. I know I still haven't uploaded the Barbenheimer review. It's coming, I promise. I have been very busy and I want to make sure the video comes out right. So yeah, thanks for your patience. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Stay safe and warm. I'm so happy it's fall, man. I'm so happy it's fall. I was so tired of the heat. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye.